This is Hoppscotch, a free open source API client that opens almost instantly, runs in your browser, works fully offline, and doesn't force you into a paid seat. Meanwhile, Postman takes around 10 seconds to launch, it uses hundreds of megabytes of RAM, and it locks collaboration behind subscriptions. Nowadays, a lot of developers aren't trying to tweak Postman anymore, they're just switching to better alternatives. Let me show you exactly why and whether it's actually worth it. Now, Hoppscotch is a lightweight open source API development ecosystem. You can build, test, document, and collaborate on APIs like REST, GraphQL, WebSocket SSE, and MQTT, all inside a browser tab without some heavy Electron app that's required. It's built to be fast and local first. You can use it with zero install for basics, it works fully offline as a PWA, and it stores data locally instead of forcing you into the cloud. You also get unlimited free workspaces and collaborators. This is the big difference between Postman. We can even self-host this or just run it without even logging in if we want the lightest version. If you enjoy content that speeds up your dev workflow, be sure to subscribe to the BetterStack channel. Watch this. So no login, there's no install required. I open Hoppscotch in my browser and I'm good to go. They do have a desktop app you could also download if you're going to be using it more often. Now, once I'm in, I create a new request, I set it to Git, and I hit the echo endpoint. That runs as we expect. I can then add any query parameters here and then a custom header and press send. My response comes back almost instantly as we expected with formatted JSON. Now, we could save this to a collection like this. Then I could create an environment variable, switch the environment, and resend that request. Done. Super straightforward, which is great. Okay, now we have this. This is the basics, kind of like Postman. All right, now let's try WebSocket. This part was honestly a bit flaky, so they do need to improve this, but I'm going to be using this URL because it seems to run correctly. I paste the endpoint. We're going to click connect, and then I'm going to send this message. And immediately we see the response stream. Now, if you're worried about migrating, there's a one-click import for Postman collections, so you can bridge this over super fast. That's the kind of speed most of us are wanting anyways. Pretty much less waiting is what we're after. Now let's compare it directly with Postman in the areas that actually affect your daily workflow. Postman can take around 10 seconds and use about 400 megabytes of RAM, while Hoppscotch opens in under a second and its desktop app is around 40 megabytes. Then Postman requires login and is cloud dependent, while Hoppscotch works fully offline as a PWA. For collaboration, Postman limits you to 3 free members, but Hoppscotch offers unlimited free workspaces and rules, so this is great when you're scaling, you're working with a bit more of a team. Since Postman is a cloud-first tool, it's not private or self-hosted, and Hoppscotch is local first with optional cloud or fully self-hosting. Finally, Postman is going to charge per seat for teams, and Hoppscotch claims, at least they are right now, they're free forever. You can also get one-click Postman and Insomnia imports, a browser extension for cores, and a CLI for CI and CD workflows. For many developers, it feels like what Postman used to be a long time ago. Now, from a dev standpoint, it's incredibly lightweight. You can almost feel the speed immediately. The UI is really clean for being this open source tool, and there's not much clutter going on here. Also, real-time collaboration just works without complicated permission setups. We're able to work offline even with local host APIs, which is huge for backend development. And finally, the updated JQ filtering and improved scripting make request manipulation much more powerful. Plus, the portable desktop apps have a tiny footprint compared to a typical Electron-based tool. Now, let's be fair here. I just rambled off a bunch of good things. It is really cool, but there are downsides. The cloud version includes light telemetry, so if that concerns you, you'll want to self-host or use it locally. Larger features are still growing, so if you need advanced workflows to work with deep monitoring or complex mocking setups, Postman is honestly still going to be stronger here. And some of the newer documentation features are still in beta as they continue to evolve. That said, for most day-to-day development workflow, there are a ton of pros here that we get with Hoppscotch. So should you actually make the switch or the hop to Hoppscotch? Well, If it's just you running tests, that's an easy yes. If you're a front end or back end engineer, you'll likely save time every day just from the speed alone. But if you are looking for a free, cheaper alternatives, that's another yes factor. Small to medium teams can switch without worrying about collaboration limits. But if you work on larger projects or larger teams, you might end up using Hoppscotch for some development, but you're still going to rely on Postman around those heavy workflows. Hoppscotch is open source and free, so it's definitely worth trying. It could be a real alternative to Postman and a different route to working with APIs. I've linked Hoppscotch in the description. Are you still using Postman or have you already made the switch? If you enjoy AI coding tools and open source alternatives, be sure to subscribe. We'll see you in another video.